Good evening and welcome to tonight's webinar. We're coming to you live from the Kamen Administration Building. We're so happy to have you guys for our final webinar before summer camp. Let's see a little bit about our presenters and we'll get into tonight's agenda. I am Greg Sedan, the camping director at Cole Canoe Base. We are also happy to be joined tonight by David Kautz, one of our assistant camp directors, Daniel Hill, our base camp director, and Linda, our business manager. Unfortunately, Sylvia was having some tech problems, so I'm not sure if she's going to be able to join us tonight, but she'll at least be here in spirit. On our agenda for tonight, we are going to touch on our legendary camp service and our customer service model that we use in all of our Michigan camps. We're going to talk about the final updates on the COVID procedures for this summer. We're going to get through check-in and our weekly schedule of events and program planning, and we will work our way right through there. Towards the end of the program, we're going to touch on our year-round programs and talk about some of our new and exciting features for this summer. Let's take a quick minute. If you haven't joined us yet for one of our webinars, this is how they work. You guys as attendees are in what we call listen-only mode. That kind of helps us keep things flowing easily. We do encourage you to communicate with us and ask questions through the chat feature, however. I believe on your end, it's on the bottom of the screen. If you just type your questions into the chat, someone from our team will either answer them in the chat or we'll try to do it out loud. And then towards the end of the presentation, we'll have a little round robin Q&A in case we missed anything. This webinar is being recorded like all of our webinars. You can find a recording of this and our previous webinars at michiganscouting.org/outdooradventures. I believe we're also putting the slide decks up there. If you want to go back and reference one slide in particular, you will have that ability. Just give us a couple days to get it uploaded after the webinar. First on the agenda tonight is our legendary camp customer service and our commitment to you. If you've been on the webinars before, you've probably seen this statement. We're going to read it one more time just for good measure. We as the camp staff are dedicated to providing our customers and our guests a legendary scout camp experience. While participating in our life-changing year-round camp programs, we are committed to providing facilities, programs, services, and camp leadership that will consistently exceed the expectations of our customers and our guests. Our Michigan Scout camps will be, and they are, safe havens for experiencing the best of the adventures and values of the Boy Scouts of America. Some of the items that we focus on through this mission is striving to provide innovative and effective programs. Here at Cole Canoe Base, we like to use the term safe, quality, and fun-filled programming. We do this best by providing quality and well-trained staff. We're always working diligently to implement and improve our food service programs. We have been working very hard on that, and some of our team is actually going to meet with our food service reps here in just a couple days to kind of dot all the final I's and the T's, and we'll get everything going for you guys. We're continuing to upgrade and refresh our facilities. If you get into camp this year, you might notice a couple new pavilions and a couple new upgrades that we didn't have last year, and we're excited for you guys to come share that with us. Lastly, we want to engage you, our leaders, our troop leadership, whether it's youth or adult, in our process and our implementation. We are always looking for your feedback. We will be providing you guys with surveys at the end of the week like we always have. And throughout the course of the week, never hesitate to reach out to one of our senior managers if you've got something that we can help you with or improve on throughout the course of the week. At this point, we're going to be hearing from our communications director and our assistant camp director, David Kautz, about some of our COVID procedures and what we're doing to keep Scouts safe this summer.
Thanks, Greg. Next slide, please. So we are just over 2 years into this COVID experience. So much of this you guys will already be familiar with, but just as some refreshers, the best way to prevent COVID-19 from getting into camp is ensuring that the campers that you bring up are not presenting with symptoms. So camp this year will not be utilizing or collecting a pre-camp health screening for the 2022 camping season. That is different than last year when we had the 2 weeks of health records with temperature checks and that recorded by each participant. If you're interested, there are testing resources and locations and where you can get tested, you can look those up at michigan.gov/coronavirus test. All summer camp participants are strongly encouraged to be vaccinated. Vaccination has proven incredibly effective as a leading public health prevention strategy. And you can learn more information from the CDC by going to vaccines.gov. Next slide, please. Masks are not required at camp this year. The unvaccinated participants are encouraged to wear masks while at camp, but that is not a requirement. For the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services guidance on masking, please visit michigan.gov/coronavirus. So, in-camp hygiene, we as a camp encourage everyone to wash their hands as often as possible. When hand washing is not something that you can do, then there will be hand sanitizer, alcohol-based hand sanitizer located throughout camp. Every program area and key location in camp will have hand sanitizer available for your use. Camp-provided hand washing stations are available near all our dining facilities. Each campsite will have a wash station near its latrine, and even for the camp-wide Beast Feast Monday night, we have hand washing stations near the outdoor skills pavilion. Campers taking part in campsite or patrol cooking, which is all of you, are encouraged to require hand washing in their campsites prior to meal, but that needs to be led by your adult leadership. Our camp will utilize the approved disinfectants for all program areas. Campers may be asked to wipe their areas or used equipment prior to leaving an activity session. That would include wiping down tables, seats, or commonly touched surfaces in between each merit pad session. And we as a camp have a staff that sanitize public showers and toilet facilities multiple times per day. So there are some new required documents. These have all been posted on the camp's registration page, and also there will be a communication going out to everyone containing this documentation with specific information on how to complete it. But essentially, we still have the annual ESA health form. That includes parts A, B, and C. Part C is the section that needs to be completed by a physician. If you have participants who don't have that signed by a qualified physician yet, I implore you to make arrangements for that as quickly as possible because of the stresses that the healthcare system's under. Also, we are 2 member release and waiver liability forms, one for youth and one for adults, which require a signature from everyone, all our participants. There's also a supplemental medical permission form, which is for people age 60 or older or who have comorbidities that make them more susceptible to COVID-19. Each unit needs to fill out what is called the summer camp unit checklist, which you'll have just each participant's name on there and indicate by check marks that you have collected their supplemental health permission form, if applicable, and their release of waiver liability forms. There's also going to be a temperature check that your staff hosts will conduct when they first arrive at your campsite to make sure that no one's presenting with a temperature above 100.5 degrees. And you as a unit are responsible for making sure that all those documents are taken care of. Andrew just posted all of these, or a link to all these different forms in the chat if you're interested in looking at them already. Finally, there is the unit commitment to transportation form, which summarizes just that units understand they have a responsibility to have transportation for scouts that present with COVID symptoms and need to be taken home. Next slide, please.
David, this is Andrew. Sorry, I want to jump in real quick. I know we talked today at our meeting, and I just want everyone on this call to be aware. That last link is a form that we utilized last summer that we just updated today with the forms to bring checklist. That lists every form you will need to have with you as part of the check-in process. And if you click that link, if you simply click on the name of the form, it will also connect you to all of the links to download those ahead of your trip to camp.
Thank you, Andrew. And with all that said, I'll hand things over to our business manager, Linda Wellner, to discuss the weekend check-in to camp.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's as excited to get back to camp as we are. Check-in is going to be back to normal. In other words, we're not going to check you in at the front of camp like we did last year. There'll probably be a commissioner up there to kind of guide you as to your campsite, especially if you're new to Cole. You will go to your campsite. Sylvia and her team will come around and collect the necessary forms. The ones that you will turn in will be your health form, and remember, we keep all the health forms. We are mandated by the state to keep them for 3 years. So make sure you bring us a copy. We do not have the facility to copy everybody's health form. So please bring a copy. You can arrive on Saturday anywhere between 2 and 5. There's no extra charge. We don't provide any food. It's a free night of camping for you. It helps you set up, get your gateway started if necessary. There will be limited swim checks available on Saturday afternoon. The camp office will be open till 5 or 6 o'clock on Saturday if you need. I will be in there. Now, some of the things that you will need on Saturday, along with your health form, we have to have a DHS, the Central Registry clearance for every adult 21 and over. This includes visitors. All visitors coming to camp must have a clearance. If they are staying overnight, say on Friday night, they must have a health form A, B, and C. This is a state requirement. No, we will not be able to let them stay if they do not have the proper paperwork. On Sunday, now this is 2:30. Well, the staff hosts start coming around 1 o'clock. So if you can be there by 1 o'clock for your tour, the staff host will be taking, this is the only time we're going to take temperatures, is right at the, when you check in. Probably won't be until Sunday when everybody's here, because we know on Saturday, some of the kids come, some of the staff comes, not everybody's here at the same time. So we'll probably wait until Sunday to do the temperature checks. Now, what I am requesting that everyone bring a unit roster. Now, this can be found on michiganscouting.org, Outdoor Adventure Forms and Resources. These are fillable forms. We are going to put put their temperature on that form. So that is a must. And like we said, health forms will be turned in to Sylvia, or if she hasn't gotten around with everybody coming in, especially the heavy weeks, it might be the staff host that will be collecting them. We will let you know later. The unit checklist that he referred to is a checklist that you keep, which you're saying, yes, you do have the waivers, you do have the any other necessary items, and the commitment to transfer form. Swim checks.
Linda, I just quickly want to clarify. The unit checklist, that is getting turned into you, and that is the troop certifying that they have collected all the waivers and all the other COVID-related forms that I talked about. But the unit checklist, which will include all the participants' name, they should give you both the roster and the unit checklist, both containing everyone who's in camp's names, and that gets turned into you, indicating that everyone in camp has their COVID forms turned into the unit, and they have them. They brought all those forms with them and are keeping them in their campsite. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Right. Thank you, David. Swim checks, if you can at all possibly get your swim check done prior to camp, that would be a great help, especially on our heavy weeks when we do have so many troops coming in. The aquatic staff have given up their Saturday afternoon off to help with swim checks, but they will be doing them on Sunday, of course. And to prevent long lines, if you can get your swim checks done ahead of time, that would be a great help. Let's see. And on Sunday, you'll be going through the camp tour. If there's any changes to merit badges or anything, you can see Miss Michelle on the camp tour, or you can wait until the merit badge expo on Sunday night, but that gets kind of crowded too. So if you can get some of that done ahead of time, that would be a great help. I believe that's all I've got on that. Next screen. Okay, on Sunday, there, as normal, there's going to be the Scoutmaster SPL meeting in the Dumas. The dinners will be between 6:15 and 8 o'clock. You will be assigned a dinner time by the staff host when they come around on Sunday. At 8:15, there will be our camp-wide flag retreat. And the expo starts about 8:30 in the pavilion. The sign up for river trips, honor troop service, any projects, the adult leader training. Maury is coming back this year to head up the adult leader training. And any merit badge changes and much more will be taken care of on Sunday at the expo at 8:30. You will also, the outdoor skills will be given anybody that's bringing a bike, their license to be able to ride, and going over the rules for bike safety at camp. Next screen.
Hey, thank you, Linda. We're going to be hearing from Dan in just a minute to talk about the weekly camp schedule. I want to take just a quick minute to make a couple of points on the swim checks that we talked about. First of all, Andrew just put a link in the chat. If you are interested in doing a pre-camp swim check, we do highly encourage it. There's a couple forms and applications that we're going to ask you to fill out in advance. If you follow the link that Andrew sent, or you can just remember michiganscouting.org/aquatics-committee. Or you can use the search bar on michiganscouting.org and just search aquatics. There's two forms on there. One is a unit swim check application. That's what we need from your unit to basically say who, what, where, and when are you doing your pre-camp swim check. And then the other application on there is for the actual administrator, and that's so that we can keep track of their credentials. I happen to be the person that those forms go to. If you're waiting on a reply from one, I do apologize. Always feel free to shoot me an email, and I'll move it to the top of the list. But we should be pretty close to caught up on them by now. In addition to that, we are offering Saturday swim checks, but we are offering them in a slightly consolidated version as we have in the past. Our staff will be reaching out to you before your arrival to ask if you're interested in that, so we know how many people to expect. And if your troop is doing a Saturday swim check, please plan on having your adult leaders assist with that to the most degree that they can. Obviously, we need to have our guards and our staff leading the process, but we will be asking for a couple adults from your troop to help keep everything organized and together, so that we can ensure our staff are getting adequate time off. On that note, please feel free to reach out to me directly if you have questions on that. And I'm going to throw it back over to Dan Hill, our base camp director, to talk about your week at camp.
All right, thanks, Greg. So we're going to talk about the weekly schedule. Those that are new to Cold Canoe Base, all of our merit badges run in the morning and afternoon, from 9 to noon and 1:30 to 5:30, and then all our exciting programs and whatnot take place in the evening. I mean, yeah, there's some troop shoots and open climbs and things that you can do during the week, but all that stuff's going to be listed on the weekly schedule. Some highlights from our schedule is the Beast Feast that's been published in Scotty Magazine and everything, and that's going to be a camp-wide progressive meal, potluck, and cooking contest down at our outdoor skills area. That's a great opportunity for the scouts to see the different methods of cooking and the different things that you can do on a camp out, and familiarize yourself with some of the cooking tools you'll need to complete your menu during the week while you're camping at our patrol cooking camp. Another great opportunity is the Timber Sports Festival on Thursday night. We've decided to lump together everything that's down at the lake under the title Timber Sports Festival. So that's going to be our Paul Bunyan Lumberjack Relay, our euchre tournament at Cosgrove, the War Canoe Time Trials that you have to sign up for advance for. But that's also the tomahawks, the crosscut saws, the black powder rifles at the rifle range. Really fun time, really celebrates the logging heritage of the area here in northern Michigan. On Fridays will be our Bosco Lake Bonanza, which is going to go more back to a river rat rodeo format from the past. We're trying to implement some of the things that we incorporated as the pandemic and whatnot, take the things that worked and get rid of the things that didn't work and combine everything into one really awesome event. I'm excited to see what Matt and his team come up with. On that note, we have taken some of the things that we had to do last year as safety precautions and used them to enhance the program. We found that Tuesday night at the movies was much more successful as movie night under the stars down at the Fire Bowl. Attendance was higher, and it seemed to create a much more movie-going atmosphere and whatnot, so we'll continue to do things like that. Wednesday night Vespers is still going to be dependent on how many people are attending. If we need extra space that we can't fit in the chapel, we'll do it down at the Fire Bowl. And this year is a special treat. We actually have a seminary student on staff to be our chaplain. So we will have chaplain services for a majority of the week. At check-in, we'll have a schedule of when Andy will be available to see to your unit's reverence needs. And that's all for me. I'm going to throw it to the next presenter.
So planning for camp. As we've gone through kind of a ideal timeline for each of your units, each of these slideshows, we're over halfway through May and summer camp's just about a month away. And at this point, we encourage you as a unit to make sure that your travel plans are ironed out, which adult leaders you have volunteering to help transport everyone up to camp, and solidify a departure time and location. Make sure you've collected your youth protection training for all the adults who are attending with you, proof of BSA membership, and as Linda was emphasizing, DHS clearance for all adults attending camp. And remember, this is a change from prior years where you just had to obtain a DHS clearance 1 year and you were good for however long you attend summer camp. Everyone attending needs a clearance from the Department of Health and Human Services this year. Finally, if you're an out-of-council unit, please make sure you have secured a copy of your unit's your council's accident insurance policy. Next slide, please. So once you're about 2 weeks away from coming up here to Cole, we encourage you to make sure that your camp rosters are complete. Linda's going to need that when you guys arrive and check in, because we use that roster to determine how much food your campsite's getting and all sorts of stuff for safety and record keeping. You've confirmed your final transportation arrangements, as I just said. Inventory all unit equipment. I want to make sure there aren't any holes in tents or mildew in some of the equipment, because that just ruins your Sunday when you arrive. And inspect that equipment as well. And then ensure that all required paperwork is organized and ready for transport. You want to have all your health forms collected in alphabetical order to make sure that the health officer receives those and has them available to them in the health lodge. And your COVID forms are organized so you can keep them in your campsite, and give Miss Linda the list ensuring that, stating that you have them all with you. Finally, please call us and confirm any special dietary needs requests you or your campers have. There's also an option for every person that gets registered on Blackpug, which is the online registration system. A portion of that you can fill out special dietary need requests, but it's always a good idea to call the camp and make sure that we are familiar with any dietary restrictions some of the participants have. For the next slide, I'm going to hand things over to Craig Zidan to talk about a new river trip policy.
Thank you, David. I want to just kind of start off by saying this is an unprecedented situation we are in right now, and this is not what we are planning to make the policy going forward. But with the unprecedented high fuel prices right now, we have had to make the decision to impose a very small surcharge for river trips. This is for canoe trips that happen on the Rifle River or elsewhere around the state. We've designed this to try to make it as affordable and as convenient as possible. The rates that we will be charging are listed there on the screen. It basically shakes out to $1 per person if you are doing an off-site river trip. This does not include the base-to-base rump bumps. This only includes trips that require us to be driving people around and utilizing gasoline. For high adventure trips and 50 milers and UP trips, there is a little bit more of a price. It's listed there. Please understand that these are solely based off of mileage and the fact that, frankly, when we wrote our budgets, we were not expecting gas prices to be pushing $5 a gallon at this time. If you have any concerns or would like to discuss that further, please feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm going to make sure that my email and my cell phone number are in the chat. And again, we appreciate your understanding on that. If you guys are going to do a river trip, we still highly encourage you to do so. We are just going to bill that through the business office at checkout like we would firewood or any other costs that accrue during camp. With that, I'm going to turn things back over to Miss Linda, our business manager, to talk about looking forward to 2023.
Okay, next year, everything is being moved back 1 week. So week 1 next year will start on Sunday, June 18th. Week 2, June 25th. Week 3, July 2nd. Week 4, July 9th. Week 5, July 16th. Week 6, July 23rd. Week 7, July 30th, and that week will end on the 5th. So when you do your site saver, just pay attention to make sure that that is the week that you want. So if you're in week 1 this year, which starts on the 12th, week 1 next year will start on the 18th and so forth. The site saver is going to be available starting Mondays now through 5 o'clock on Wednesday. You can go in and do it, or you're more than welcome to come see me in the office and I will do the site saver and get your reservation going for next year. The deposit is still the $200, which has been like forever. It is non-refundable. If you sign up for Cole and then later you decide you want to go to Rotary, that deposit is transferable. But if you decide for Cole or any of the other MCC camps and decide, no, you're not going to go to camp next year or you're going to go out of state, that $200 deposit is not refundable. So please keep that in mind. But the sooner you sign up, the better. Like I say, anywhere between Monday and Wednesday at 5 o'clock, you can do it yourself or come in and see me. As in prior years, at 8 o'clock Friday morning, that becomes open to the world for that week only, not for future weeks, but for that particular week, it becomes wide open on Friday morning at 8 o'clock. So if you have any questions, please stop in and see me in the office at any time. I believe that's all I've got on that. The reservations, yeah, you can log in, like I said before, you can do it yourself, or you can come in and see me and we can talk about any other changes that you may want to make. The availability is in prior years, first come, first serve. When there are multiple troops that sign up for a campsite, we do have the availability to make any changes necessary, but we will let you know prior to you coming to camp if that is a problem. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to come in and see me. Send me an email. It's linda.wallner@scouting.org. and I will help you out whatever I can. One thing I just wanted to re-emphasize, as David said too, the DHS, the Central Registry Clearance, that is a yearly form that going forward. It's not a once and done anymore. You do have to apply yearly. So make sure that every adult 21 over, whether camping or visiting, they get that form going now. Again, that can be in michiganscouting.org, Outdoor Adventures, Forms and Resources. You can find the application for the form. It can be faxed or mailed in. Next slide. Okay, there's all the dates like I alluded to before. So make sure when you sign up, you are aware of the dates, and I will remind you of it if you come into the office to sign up also.
All right. Thank you very much, Linda. We're going to hear a little bit about our upcoming year-round programs and some other fun things that we've got going on. Take a look here at the list here. First up, we've got some super exciting programs happening in August. This is like right after summer camp wraps up. First on the list is what we call our High Adventure Week. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our provisional 50-miler canoe trip. This is available for sign up online right now. You can reach out to myself or Jason, our High Adventure Director, for more information. But that is a provisional 50-mile canoe trip that happens the week of July 17th. And for that trip, scouts can come with no adults. They can come without their troop. They can come as one. They can come as 2 or 3. We're going to make sure there's adequate leadership so that everybody gets a chance to participate in that trip who wants to. After that, speaking of provisional, we've got the Great Lakes Kayak Adventure happening the first week of August. This is a fun and fantastic trip that samples the best kayaking the Great Lakes have to offer. We're going to go to Pictured Rocks. We're going to see the Straits of Mackinac, Grand Island, Tequamanon Falls, you name it. We're going to be driving around in a van all week, and when we're not driving around in the van, we're going to be paddling kayaks in some pretty cool water. Awesome trip featured in Boys Life magazine. Now it's Scouts Life, but go take a look at their website, and I believe that was April of 2019 when we did that. We've got in addition, the same week, we have our ATV Ogama Trails Week, which is a week-long trip driving ATVs around some of the fantastic trails available in this part of the state. After that, we've got a brand new program coming up that same first week of August, which we're calling our Lifeguard Boot Camp or our Lifeguard Academy. This is going to be an American Red Cross lifeguard training program. So if you have scouts or young adults that want to be lifeguards or need to re-up their certs, we're going to give them an opportunity to do that week in camp down on our lake with our Red Cross instructor, Matt Grimble. After that weekend, we're doing our Cub Adventure Family Camp is back. That is like all the fun of summer camp, kind of mini scaled down to be Cub friendly and family friendly. And that will be happening August 5th through 7th. That is a family camp adventure. So that's not just your Cub Scouts. That's mom, dad, brother, sister, auntie, grandma, anybody that wants to come can come be a part of Cub Adventure Family Camp. After that week, the week of August 7th through the 12th, we have our newest and maybe one of our most exciting programs, Wilderness Explorer Week. This summer, you'll probably hear our staff referring to it as WOO. And that is a brand new initiative. It is a provisional program. Again, that means you can send one scout, you can send a couple scouts, no grown-ups required. We're going to be providing staff leadership to act as camp counselors, and we're going to be breaking scouts into patrols. That is a fun-filled week. It is not advancement focused. It is just focused on getting your scouts outside and having fun. Get them out of the house for a week. Mom, dad, scoutmasters, you guys can take the week off. We've got it. That's going to be an exciting program. We're really looking forward to it. A couple other programs coming up. First weekend in June, we are hosting the Venturing Officers Association for the Rifle River Gauntlet. This is a fun-filled weekend of canoeing and paddling and playing around in the lake. That is open to all scouts who are venture age or older, and that is basically 13 and up, 14 and up, somewhere in there. Connie will probably send me that in the chat in a minute. Great program. You don't have to be a part of venturing to attend the gauntlet. Go ahead and contact Chuck Williams if you would like more information on that, and we'll get his email into the chat here in a moment. And moving on to the rest of our year-round programs coming in the fall. Sorry, you're going to email Connie on the gauntlet, and we're going to put her email in the chat. Year-round programs coming up in the fall, September and October. September 9th through 11th is our Merit Badge Mania, Merit Badge Madness. This is our fun Merit Badge weekend. We'll be having a whole bunch of different fun things going around in camp. We'll have a few different programs open, and it's a great chance to come up and get some merit badges. We will have more information on that as the summer goes on, and there is already sign-up available, I believe, and information out through the council's marketing programs. We are doing our shooting sports weekend, September 16th through the 18th. Wilderness first aid training that same weekend. October 15th is our haunted campsite. This is our creepy, spooky Halloween weekend, and it is a great opportunity to come up and either hang out and have fun on the haunted hayride, or come up and help us haunt out the camp and scare all the locals and the Cubs and everybody that comes through. It is a family-friendly event, but it is a lot of fun. Last but certainly not least, that first weekend of November is our fall cleanup weekend, or our fall I Love Our Camps weekend, where we'll be getting camp ready for the winter so that we can open up again for a successful spring next year. With all of that, we have one more very exciting thing to announce to you guys tonight. This is a brand new thing for Michigan Camping, and I am personally very stoked about it. We're going to throw things over to the council's Chief Information Officer, Chris Hopkins.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Hopefully you'll be as excited as we are about this. And I believe she is a participant here, but I want to give a special shout out to Christy Phillips, who's a member of the Council Marketing and Communications Committee, for helping to really put these together and build these. So we're excited to announce that for this summer, if I can get to the screen. There we go. Each of our Scouts BSA camps this summer will have their own camp app. And you'll see here, this is kind of what it looks like. And we'll talk a little bit about kind of how the app came to be. It is leader focused, right? So you don't have to carry a lot of paper around with you. It's available for Android and iPhone, and you'll be able to download it after June 1st from the Google Play Store or the App Store, depending on the device that you have. Some of the features that it's going to have are daily schedules, menus, maps, both how to get to camp as well as the camp map itself. There is a weather widget, so you'll be able to look at the forecast and be aware of any high temperatures or storms that might be coming in. One of the things that I think is pretty neat is the feedback form. So if you run into a staff member who's been outstanding throughout the week, you go into the app, fill out this little feedback form, and the camp administration will get a copy of that. The feedback form also can be used, if there's a non-emergency or something needs to be addressed or corrected, maintenance wise or whatever. That again will go to the camp administration and they'll be able to get that on the work schedule. So the other neat thing is contacts. Hopefully we don't have to use this too much, but if you need to contact the health officer or the camp director in an emergency, you'll be able to do that right from the app. Right, hit the health officer, dial the phone number, and it will dial the health director. The other neat thing that I really like about this is the push notifications. So if there's a schedule change or a location change, the camp administration will be able to send out a push notification to say, hey, Beast Feast is moved to a certain area, or the Scout's own service has been relocated somewhere or changed in time, that kind of thing. So pretty excited about the push notifications, again, to help keep our adult leaders in camp kind of in the know. So this is kind of what it looks like. You'll see the leaders guide, schedules, food, menu. In the particular case of Cole, you'll have the instructions for cooking as well. Maps, as I mentioned, weather. The one thing I'll share with you on the settings, and what you'll be able to do under my profile, is you'll want to turn off notifications until you get to camp, because if you're coming week 3 or session 3, you're going to get notifications for folks that are there week 1 or week 2. So we recommend turning the notifications off before camp, and then when you arrive at camp, turn the notifications on, and then when you leave camp, again, you can turn them off. What you'll see in the middle screen, Greg mentioned Dan Hill mentioned a lot of things, happening throughout the week at camp. You'll be able to access that all through the app. For example, game night on Tuesday, 7 to 8:30. If you click the little caret icon there, you'll get some more details about what that is, where it is location-wise, any specific requirements or things that are needed. Again, a pretty neat feature that you don't have to carry around a lot of paper with you. If you're in a location where you might not have great cell service, the leader's guide, the menus, the maps, you can download all of those right to your phone. So again, we're pretty excited about this, and we are going to be able to do some additional things with the camp app for each of the camps after summer camp is over. But this is really our primary focus. If you have any questions about it, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'd be more than happy to answer them. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Greg. Thanks.
Great. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Before you begin with questions and answers, one thing to add is if you have scouts who are still considering coming to camp but might need assistance in doing so, the council's camp scholarship program is still ongoing. Even though you may have missed the initial May 1st deadline, scouts can still apply for some financial support for that. So we encourage you to go to michiganscouting.org /outdoor adventures /camper scholarships or camperships, and there'll be more information on there, but they are still receiving those applications. And if you have scouts that could use assistance, please direct them there.
Great, thank you, David. I hope that some of our units get a chance to take advantage of that. Camperships are a great program, and if David didn't mention it, we did get some additional funding this year to help support that, and we look forward to helping as many kids go to camp as possible. With that, we're open up for question and answers. I think we've been doing a pretty good job in the chat so far. But if there's anything still out there, we'll take them now. No, so Chuck sent out a concern. No, the app is absolutely not designed to replace our in-person customer service. It's simply just a tool to make your life easier. We figured it'll be great to have all that information in your pocket. But no, as always, as all of our units have come to expect, you can always tap on our staff and our leadership for help whenever you need it. And yes, it's optional. Yes, campsites, some of our campsites have water and electricity. Some of them, well, all of our campsites have water. Some of our campsites have electricity. Some of our campsites have pavilions or other improvements, which has all been funded through our Adopted Tent Site program. If you want specific questions about the campsite you're in, feel free to reach out to us on that. Or that information is available on the campsite map, which is on the registration page and in the app, as well as on michiganscouting.org. Jennifer, I did get your email, and I will speak more to that when I sift through this big chart.
Andrew, I just want to confirm with you the question about the youth and adult waivers. Just because a troop has the signatures from last year, they still need to obtain new signatures on those waiver forms from each participant for this year?
That's correct. Our risk management committee has determined that needs to be a new form submitted at every activity that we go to. So, you know, you're supposed to be filling those out for any activities that you go to now that are council related. And because this year is a separate activity from last year, those need to be new forms. Again, those live with the unit during summer camp. You're not going to turn those in. You just need to have them with you. Your verification to us that you do have them and have them with you is your signature on that unit check-in sheet when you come into camp on Saturday or Sunday.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
Andrew. We have a question about adult leader training. I believe we covered that last month, but if you want to email Sylvia, we'll throw her email in the chat. She should be able to provide you with the adult leader training that we are going to have available this summer. As always, adult leader training is provided at no additional cost. It's a fantastic opportunity for some of your adults to get trained up while they're in camp.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can remember all of them, but it should be IOLS, Troop Committee Challenge if you're interested. Our Dean of Merit Badges will be doing Merit Badge Counselor instruction during the week, as well as the Scoutmaster, Assistant Scoutmaster, Leader Position Specific Training. Most up to date, though, will be when you talk to Maury on Sunday to sign up.
Thanks, Dan. I've got a question about part-time adults. It'll kind of depend on the particulars of when they show up, I guess. But if they're not eating with us Thursday night, no, we're just gonna charge them for Friday. You can reach out to Linda for particulars on that. And that is linda.wallner@scouting.org. We'll throw that in the chat for you.
I'm seeing a question about the Certified Angling Award. If you've completed fishing, Fish and Wildlife, and Fly Fishing Merit Badge, then you should have the requirements complete. And there should be a separate form that you can turn in with the advancement form and everything to get that award at your local scout shop.
All right, well, we're going to hang out and monitor the chat for just a couple more minutes, but I think we've got everything. If there's anything we missed, this is a good time to throw it out there. I do want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and we look forward to having you guys with us at camp. In just under a month is when week 1 opens. So as always, feel free to reach out to us if you have more questions that arise between now and then. But stay safe and travel safe on your way up here, and we can't wait to have you back. If you're celebrating a birthday at camp, feel free to reach out to us about a week ahead of time, and we will get you guys set up. We've got some options for birthday cakes and things like that through our commissary, and no better place to celebrate your birthday than at camp. I'm saying that because I've spent my last 10 or 15 birthdays at camp. Ellen, shoot me an email on that, and I'll get you squared away.
One thing I forgot to mention when talking about submitting camp scholarship applications still, the person who is managing that program, she said if you submit applications now, you may have to wait until there is a reply, or for a reply until around or after June 1st, just because of the process and committee that is gone through in order to review all the applications and everything. So don't expect an immediate response on that.
All right. Yeah, Brian, we got your shirt order, and that is in process. For anyone else hanging out, if you guys are interested in custom troop t-shirts for to be ready for your week of camp, you're going to shoot an email over to that Cole Canoe Base at michiganscouting.org address that you see in the chat, and we'll get you the information that you need. Yes, Brian, it would be the same paperwork. Brian, send me an email on that. I got to get you the particulars. Brad, we've got your email on the shirts too. We're just hashing out the final details with our supplier. Looks like they're going to be $25 a piece, but we'll get a confirmation over to you soon. All right. Well, I think that's everybody. Everyone have a great night. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at camp.